Zimbabwe's month-on-month inflation falls 0.67% to 1.58% in the month of April. Let's talk more about that, which, of course, Zimbabwe has one of the world's highest inflation rates, but that seems to be changing and really fast as the country's headline inflation declined to about 108.7% this month. In March last year, Zimbabwe inflation was a red-hot 676%. But that's down to about 100. The question is, what is changing in Zimbabwe? SEddie Cross, how important is this declining inflation to Zimbabwe in terms of price stability, exchange rates, and the likes?
It's critical. We're a country which has experienced a lot of instability in recent years. And this monetary instability has been very, very damaging to our economy. So we've had stable exchange rates now for about a year. What's important about that is that it's led to stability in prices. And I'm hoping that we can continue with that this year. We have an immediate problem confronting us in the sense that we've got a very big agricultural crop and we've got to buy it. And we're trying to avoid printing money because that would destabilize our exchange rate. And if we can do that and we can get away with it, if we can finance that from our own resources, then I think the scene is set for a fairly good year in terms of growth. And by the end of this year, we should be down below 10% inflation.
That's dramatic, and that was my first question, and I'm going back to it in the manner of speaking. SEddie, how did you arrive from about nearly 700% inflation? Now you're hitting almost ground zero.
Right. The first thing we did was to control money supply. We found that you could index the inflation rate against money supply. And the problem was the government was running a huge fiscal deficit, and we had to get that under control. So we've taken action on that. We've increased taxation, and we've curbed expenditure. For example, our salary bill was 97% of all our revenue 2.5 years ago. Today, it's below 40%. And these really harsh measures have given us, over the past year or so, a significant fiscal balance. We now have a surplus in our tax balances. And in addition to that, we have taken strong action against companies which were, in fact, dabbling in the foreign exchange market. We created a market for foreign exchange, a formal market, which we never had before. We did that in June last year, and that has really stabilized the situation. So I'd say today our macroeconomic fundamentals are sound, and I think the auction, providing we can continue to maintain it, will in fact keep our exchange rate steady.
You know what I'm going to say. Congratulations to all of you in Zimbabwe. Now, the finance minister, perhaps on the back of that, Mthuli Ncube, is also optimistic that Zimbabwe's GDP will grow strongly to about 7.4% this year. Do you think that's a little bit ambitious?
I think we're going to do better than that. I think the economy now is recovering very strongly. We're out of our COVID lockdown. And the surge in economic activity has really been quite remarkable. And I think we've got a very good agricultural season, and global commodity prices are strong at the moment. And I think if we can combine both of those two and keep our export performance where it is, I think we're in for a good year, a very good year. I would not be surprised if we don't break 10%.
Wow, by your assessment.
Yep.
Okay,
I'm very confident of that.
Yes. So when we look at the broader economy, what other significant economic actions are being pursued right now by the administration of President Mnangagwa in terms of foreign inflows and all of that? How are you folks managing? I'm not sure you're getting so much help from the outside right now.
We've had no assistance from the international community over the past year. We're still really under severe economic constraints in terms of ZEDERA from the United States and even the European Union. But what we've been able to do is to reorder our expenditure. So whereas previously we were spending the majority of our taxes on recurrent expenditure, now we're spending a significant proportion of our tax revenues on investment. So our public sector investment program at the moment is running at about $10 billion a month, and I hope that we can maintain that for the rest of the year. On top of that, strong export performance. We're running a balance of payment surplus now, and our exports are rising at about 20% per annum. And we're regionally competitive because our relatively weak currency. And I hope if we can maintain the balance of all those features, and I think businessmen also are gaining confidence. They all thought we couldn't maintain this. They thought it was not sustainable, but in fact, we've shown them that it is sustainable. And this new stability, I think, is now generating confidence, and that's crucial to the immediate outlook.
Okay, my final question, Eddie, and it's been an interesting speaking with you tonight. Zimbabwe's Reserve Bank, or the central bank, is breathing down the neck of some big companies and banks on the issue of foreign exchange misbehavior. You touched on that a little bit earlier. Could you please expatiate a little bit further on that to wrap up the conversation with us?
Our major electronic transfer company, Econet, the majority of transactions in Zimbabwe are conducted in electronic means. We're one of the most advanced countries in the world, I think, in terms of electronic transfers in the banking sector. And our biggest company, Econet, allowed their 70,000 odd agents to buy foreign exchange on the informal market on an open book basis. And when we found that they were doing this, we told them that they had to stop it. When they refused to do so, we threatened them with legal action. And as a consequence of that, we've brought that under control. And I think that now they're now playing ball with us, and it's assisted us in maintaining confidence. As for the other abuses of foreign exchange trading here, gradually we're moving towards a market-driven economy. And I think eventually that'll sort out all these irregularities and arbitrage opportunities which have existed in the past.
Thank you so much. SEddie Cross, do have a pleasant evening. SEddie Cross, policy and business analyst in Arise. Thank you very much for speaking with us tonight.